Someone can tell me I'm muted. I probably should have seen that. Sound. Thank you, Dan. So I was talking this whole time saying that I was trying to get TikTok straightened away, and that was also taking me some time. But let me know if you end up hearing some jackhammering outside. Hey, TikTok. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. Hey, YouTube. My name is Janelle Villiers, and you are here on another episode of the Janelle Villiers podcast. I'm happy to be here. Dan, thanks for being on live. I always tell people, look, if you're watching live, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. I love to shout out all the people who come on live. If this is your first time here, please go ahead and put first in the comments. I love to shout out all the people who are here first. I want to give you guys as much value and as much information as possible. And if you're a returning person to the show, go ahead and put an R for returning. And I will say hello to you too. I make sure to say hello and give shout outs to everyone who is on. So, hey, Dan, on live. Wonderful. So again, my name is Janelle Villiers. If this is your first time with me, I talk about all things books. Essentially, I am an author myself. I self-published my own book, which is actually right here. I just did a post about this. I Slept with a Married Man. Am I Still a Good Person? That's my book. It has been a journey. It has been a real journey. I had a lot of people who said I shouldn't write the book, don't do it. And I had a lot of self-doubt myself about whether I should do it or not. And so if you're out there and you're wondering, should you do this? I don't know, like, will people take me seriously? Will anyone read it? Will anyone care? Me too. I've been there. But I got to the other side of it. I ended up self-publishing. I've been interviewed on several different podcasts, 2 different TV shows or radio station, had 3 different book tour stops in New York, Fort Lauderdale, Chicago. And I had some of the most courageous conversations. But what I didn't expect were how many people were going to pull me to the side and say, hey, Janelle, how did you write the book? Or, hey, Janelle, how did you self-publish, right? And so I was like, wait a second. I can actually teach people this. I've been teaching adults for over 10 years. I've been a professor for quite some time. And so I just figured, okay, I can take out the information that I had been previously teaching and put in this new information. And it has been such a fulfilling process. It has been, I mean, it's definitely a calling. Like, I really feel like I'm called to help people put their message out in the world, to help more people. I know I'm just the catalyst. That way more people can be impacted and lives changed because of the messages and the stories of other people's lives. So that's a little bit about me. And what has got me super excited is that in the past 4 weeks, I looked up. I've just been working, you know, that we have lots of different people that we've been working with, so many amazing stories that people have been sharing. And we've just been going. And then I looked up and I was like, oh my God, in the past 4 weeks, we've popped 3 best-selling authors. And if you count 2 weeks before that, technically 4. So we have just been like producing these amazing authors. And I really wanted to just, one, give them a shout out, highlight them. All of their information is in the description below. So if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, you can actually click on the links for their books. I will shout them out individually, and then I will tag them, of course. If you're on Instagram or if you're on TikTok, let me know. I'm going to give you a description of each of them and let me know which one you're interested in, and then you can go get their book. But all of them are simply amazing. So the first one I want to start off with is, actually, we just got off of a meeting with him. One of our clients, his name is Austin Armstrong. He became a young millionaire before the age of 30, he just turned 30. And he is in this world of social media, of AI technology, and his calling is to help other people do the same thing. He doesn't want to just let this be this thing that he does and nobody else knows. He actually is really excited to be able to share exactly what he did with social media and now using AI to help other people become viral, to help other people, more importantly, start to earn an income from social media and the other platforms that are available out there. So he's written a book. It's called Virality. Again, his name is Austin Armstrong. You can go look it up on Amazon right now. It's Virality. with an exclamation point. You can pre-order his book. It's 99 cents now, but come December 1st on Cyber Monday, December 1st, it will go up. So go ahead and pre-order his book. If you've ever been interested on how you can make money online and you want to know how to do it, this is who you need to be learning from. This guy, literally, I am helping him write a book about how to do this. And then he became a best-selling author. People have been soaking up the pre-orders. Like, people cannot wait. They're chomping at the bit to get this. And I can't wait for it to release on December 1st. So make sure you get your copy. It's 99 cents now. It will not always be 99 cents. So go ahead and get that now for the pre-order. So that's Austin Armstrong, Virality with an exclamation point. The second author that popped a bestseller in the last couple of weeks, her name is Grace Clevenger. And I really am moved by Grace's story. Grace originally came from China. She came to the States for graduate school, fell in love with an American, married him, had a baby, and ended up living here. But what Grace has amassed over time is this amazing knowledge and wisdom in traditional Chinese medicine. Like, so much wealth and knowledge. And I mean, this is information that she has known from her life, but has existed for thousands and thousands of years. And she just feels like she has been called to be the bridge between Eastern and Western medicine. She's the person who's going to help bring the two together, because there are some things in Western medicine that are really that really work well. Not everything, of course, but some that do. And if you bring it together with Eastern medicine, things that we have known for thousands of years, this could really revolutionize how we are as humans to be better, healthier humans, live longer, live better, productive lives with our loved ones, essentially. And so recently her husband passed away, and her daughter is actually studying business, so didn't go into medicine. And she feels like this is her legacy. If she doesn't put this out there, then it might just get lost. I love her book because she doesn't speak over you. This book comes right alongside you in your health journey. She talks about everything from fasting and the ways in which you can do that in a better way that's alongside your body that makes sense. You know, that in a way that like makes sense along with the sun, right? And how different organs in our body actually work better during different times of the day, because our chi energy is strongest in certain organs at certain times of the day. And I'm telling you, when I was reading her book and like helping her edit it and then publish it, I learned so much. And I was just like, man, I can't wait for more people to get their hands on this, because this is going to help people live longer. It's going to help people live healthier, prevent some of those things that sometimes people get when they're older. And so I really was excited when she hit bestseller. And so that's Grace Clevenger. You can look her up also on Amazon. She wrote the book called The Missing Puzzle of Life. So that's Grace Clevenger, The Missing Puzzle of Life. Go ahead and get that book. All right. If you're into health, then go get that book. I'm telling you, it's you. All right. Where are all my parents out there? Where are all my struggling parents? And even more specifically, yes, Dan, go get her book. All right. More specifically, where are all my moms? Where are my moms? Bren Harris just put out a book for the warrior moms out there. Bren Harris is an amazing woman. She's a mompreneur, and she has been called to help other mothers who have children with special needs. She has a son who's on the autistic spectrum who is nonverbal. And so she has raised her son to now be a full-blown teenager, and she knows what it takes, that it just takes something a little bit extra, right? And she knows what moms are going through. It's tough. There are challenges, but we can get through this. We're stronger together. It's something that she always says. So shout out to Bren, because she became a 2-time best-selling author with her book. What she wants is she wants to captivate those moms who are busy, who are feeling like they don't have any time. She wants to capture your minds and just give you a little bit of respite in a mystery. So it's a mystery with a little bit of romance. And I think of it kind of like, think of it like Dan Brown, but like if there was a romance involved, right? So Dan Brown, if there was some romance. Her book is called The Major and the Musician. It's by Bren Harris, The Major and the Musician. Go get that now. It's out. And what I love about her book is that she captures the attention of all these busy, stressed out moms. It gets you into this like really like fast-paced adventure mystery with the romance. But then after each chapter, she gives a lesson for the moms. And so the lesson might be, I see you. You're working hard, just like the main character who's trying to juggle 3 or 4 different things at once. I see you. You're doing the same thing as a mom. And here's something that you can do to help you along the way. And she gives tips, and there's different exercises that you can do along the way to help you navigate this stressful world that we're all living in, but especially those warrior moms. So shout out to Bren Harris for becoming a 2-time bestseller, because her second book is the companion book to The Major and the Musician, where it's the journal. So the journal basically allows you to actually write with a pen and paper and write down the different thoughts and takeaways that you've been getting from the lessons. And it just gives you more space, right? So when you're reading the book, The Major and the Musician, there's a little bit of space, right? Maybe you take your own notebook and write some notes, but the journal is the perfect companion for The Major and the Musician, because there you get the lessons and you can write the notes in real time. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go out and get Bren's book. Again, that's Bren Harris, and it's The Major and the Musician. And you can get the companion book, which is the journal. So it's the Warrior Mom Journal. And get those 2 books, get them, because they go in combination. They're like peanut butter and jelly. They go together. So shout out to those 3. And then finally, I want to give a shout out to someone that we've been working with probably the longest. Huge shout out to Brandy Grillo. She's out in Tampa, Florida, and she had been working on her memoir for quite some time. We had been working with her. And what I love about her memoir is how raw she gets, how she allows us to get so close to her life. It feels like you're having an intimate conversation with somebody as they reveal to you all these different things that have happened in her life. Now, let me just explain something. If you have ever felt like you have gone too far for redemption, if you feel like you have done too much, there's no way that God could ever love you or that you could ever be a child of God, this is the book for you. Brandy Grillo wrote a book called Addicted to Pain. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. First of all, do I have I think I have it here. Yep, I do. I have it here. First of all, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful to look at. And I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but she's done everything from being a stripper to dealing with drugs. There's this insane story where essentially a man had a gun to her head and she thought, this is it, I'm about to die. And the gun doesn't go off, it jams. And he tries again, and again, it doesn't go off, it jams. And I'm telling you, if you don't think that God wasn't in her life, I don't know what is going to compel you to believe it. So please, 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 please go out and get Brandy's book, Brandy Grillo, Grillo. It's called Addicted to Pain. If you have ever felt like your life has gone too far, that you could never be redeemed, you need to read this book. She shares so much insight, and she shares not only her story and what she's been through, but then she also shares the other side of it and how she literally did a complete 180. And she's a wonderful mother, a woman of God. She does so much good work for charity. I mean, it's just an amazing thing to see her journey and how much she, and how much she's been through in the past, in her years, in her life. And so I highly, 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 highly recommend you get her book. Now, you can go look all of these authors up. They're on Amazon right now. They all became bestsellers. Amazing books. I really believe that they're going to help and improve all people's lives around the world, honestly. And I have, again, if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, you can find the links directly to their work. Otherwise, you just have to, press pause, then go on Amazon, search for the readers. That's Brandy Grillo, if I pronounce it in an Americanized way, right? Grillo, Brandy Grillo. That's Addicted to Pain. We talked about Bren Harris, the warrior mom. For the warrior moms out there, you're going to want to read The Major and the Musician and get the companion journal that goes with it, the Warrior Mom Journal. For all of those who are into health, right, and well-being, you're going to look for Grace Clevenger, right? Grace Clevenger, she wrote the book, The Missing Puzzle of Life. And then finally, if you're really into trying to go viral, if you're trying to get more people to see your videos, if you're really curious about how you can actually make money online, you need to get Austin Armstrong's book, Virality, with an exclamation point. You can look that up. He's a best-selling author now officially. You can go get his book for 99 cents when you pre-order, and people can't wait for that to drop on December 1st. All right. So you guys know that if you've been here before, you already know I have notes. I love to come to you and drop values. That way you guys can learn from what we've been witnessing and what we've been doing. And for me, what I realize is that, I'm helping all of these people, but there are some other people who hear this and they're like, well, how are they able to do this? How are these authors able to become best-selling authors? And I'm telling you, every single one of them had doubts. Every single one of them had doubts about whether they should write their book or not. Every single one of them as they were writing, were hesitating, like, I don't know if this is good enough. Every single one of them were wondering, is it even long enough? Are we going to have enough pages to write a book, right? Like, I'm telling you, every single one of them has been there. And you probably are wondering, how did they get to the other side of that? And so first I wanted to talk to you about that. So, the biggest difference I see between people who dream about writing a book and those who actually publish, it's not the talent, it's not the time. It is a mindset. It's a mindset. So here are the 3 truths that I've watched play out again and again and again, and with these 4 authors that I've mentioned as well. So best-selling authors decide before they're ready. They don't wait to feel confident. They actually create confidence through the action, the continued coming to the paper and writing, right? Someday writers keep waiting for the perfect idea. Bestsellers just start messy. They're just going to start writing. They trust that the clarity will come in the motion of doing the action. And that is so true. The second thing is that they treat writing like a job, not a dream. They show up even when it's not cute and easy. Even when it's not cute and easy, they understand that consistency builds the muscle, not inspiration. You're not going to always feel inspired to write. I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? Do I have your permission to be honest, be brutally honest? You're not always going to feel like writing. It's a season of your life where you're just going to make it a priority. And they made it a job, not just this dream. And they're not waiting for inspiration to hit them. They just keep working on it, right? They have an outline. They know what they're going to write about in general, and they just keep writing, knowing that it'll get clearer the more that they write. So when your book becomes about who you're helping instead of where the authentic authority is born, that's when everything changes. You got to focus on who you're helping and what message you want them to receive. Anyone who's been coached by me knows that I have a blueprint that I use to extract exactly that. That's the hardest thing for people to do. They have all this, oh, I want to write. But what do you want the reader to get from this? And that, I think, is when everything changes. Once you focus on what the reader is going to take away from all of this. Okay. The other thing that I really wanted to focus on is, okay, so let's talk about the 4 authors I've been talking about. I've been talking about Austin, Grace, Bren, and Brandy. And these 4 best-selling authors, each of them did something powerful long before they got to the end. And that's, they built belief before they book. They claimed the identity of author early. They started talking about their projects, sharing the process, updating bios, speaking their dream into reality. They were doing this a lot, right? Before the book was even out. They mapped their message early. They didn't try to write everything. They found essentially the heartbeat. They found a sentence for every chapter and then kind of went there. That's what made their books feel focused and magnetic, because they were focused on, they had mapped it out. So they already knew where they were going, and they just focused on what the reader was going to get. And then they invited accountability. They didn't try to do it alone. I've been saying this, like, there's an African proverb, but my mentor like mixes it up a little bit. So I'll say it right now. I say it a lot on my free masterclass, which is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, squat up. Shout out to Darren Walker. That's his take on the African proverb, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, squat up. No one did anything great by themselves. And they didn't do anything. They didn't do it alone either. So whether it was through coaching, peer check-ins, or a community, they made sure someone else was holding their vision with them. Writing is so personal, but finishing, that is communal. Finishing, you did it with a group of people who supported you in community. So before you worry about the final chapter, start with belief, clarity, and connection. That's the foundation every bestseller is built on. Every single bestseller is built on that. Okay. So this one's close to my heart. So I want to make sure I get this out. But because I've seen it happen over and over again, when you have a coach like me in your corner, things accelerate. I mean, it's just like the proverb I was just saying, right? Not because they're pushing you, but because they're guiding you. So why is this important? Number one, coaching eliminates decision fatigue. I mean, that's really what it's about. When you don't have to figure everything out alone, you get to stay in your creative zone. You stop guessing and you just start growing. You're just doing because you're like, okay, I have someone guiding me along the way. I don't have to make the decision about what's next. They're guiding me as to what would be the next best thing, right? That's huge. Coaching also creates accountability, but with compassion. This is not like, oh, you didn't do it, right? And now you're getting like punished or something like that. No. It's having someone who believes in you and expects progress. This honestly is what changes the game. You show up differently when someone's waiting to celebrate your next chapter. Seriously, you really do. So that's one of the things that I love about coaching. And then also coaching, it reframes failure as feedback. So you don't feel like I am a failure. I talk about shame and guilt a lot, right? So I don't want you to shame yourself and say, I am a failure. It's just maybe you didn't reach that initial goal that you had, but sorry, I just realized the topic isn't displaying at the bottom. So maybe you didn't reach that goal that you had, but we can set the next goal. We can come back to it, right? An arrow with no target is going to miss every time. So mistakes stop being proof that you can't, and they become proof that you're learning. That mindset alone can turn a 3-year struggle into a 3-month success story. And I've seen it over and over and over again with the clients that I've been working with. Like what would have taken them years is now taking them months because you have the coaching, you have someone guiding you, taking away the decision fatigue. You have someone who is creating accountability with compassion, and you have someone who reframes the failure to just feedback, right? It's proof that you're learning. And so things don't take as long as they need, right? You're collapsing timeframes. So if you've been stuck in the loop of I'll get to it someday, maybe what you need isn't more time, maybe it's more support. So here's the truth. I've witnessed it again and again. Your story already has power. What it needs now is permission. The authors who become bestsellers aren't the ones who waited for perfect. They just are the ones who put one step in front of the other. And if you've been sitting on your story, wondering when your turn will come, it's here. This is your sign. If you need guidance, structure, or someone to believe in your book as much as you do, that's what we do inside the Author's Voyage course, which is something that I work with my clients. And if you're interested in that, go ahead and put info in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to schedule a time for us to chat so you can find out more information there and how I helped all of these authors become best-selling authors. All right, everyone, that is my time. I'm going to stay on a little bit later for the TikTokers. So if you have any questions, go ahead and stay on TikTok. I have another 5 minutes with you. So please put your questions in the comments so I can see your questions. What questions do you have about these bestsellers? I'm going to try and bring them on so you guys can meet all of them and ask your questions directly. But do you have any questions about the process, anything like that? And for everyone else on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, I will see you next Monday.